This competition got underway with round 1 between the two lowest seeds, Sphere, Cube and Red. Up until now, we've had constant games, a lot of fun, but for now, we're going to find out who the winner is. It's a battle of two Canadian players to see who is the ultimate player in Wii Sports 9-hole golf. Let me introduce our two players, and first, in the red corner, the incumbent champion, a man who doesn't just have that accolade in OG Wii Sports, but also 24 golf world records in Wii Sports Resort, Wii Sports Resort category extensions, Wii Sports Club and Storm Island. Despite suffering an early shock from the winner's bracket, he's battled back from losers round 3 to get here, including the 3-0 win over Garrett just now. Let me introduce Sir Tyler. And in the blue corner, the number 1 seed. 5 world records in Wii Sports Golf. That's a perfect 5 of beginner, intermediate, expert and pro. And of course, the jewel in the crown, the first sub 4 minute in 9-hole. 4 more in golf-related category extensions, and a 10th in the combined Wii Sports and Wii Sport Resort category. Out of every match so far, he's only lost 1 round, and he's the number 1 seed. It's EmoadNomad. Well, without further ado, we will start this best of 7 match and count them in. 3, 2, 1, go. And give me a sec of the stream delay. There we go. We are underway. And remember that because Tyler is coming from loser's bracket, he will have to win this and win a potential second game. If Emoad wins this best of 7, he will go straight there. Now both of them getting a good start on 1. Emoad obviously having that A and B press, which isn't ideal. But both of them doing well. I'd say Tyler with a longer putt. And he sinks it on 34. Emoad with 36. Very close. An amount of time that's negligible as we both go on to hole 2. That's the first par 3. That is a brilliant one from Emoad. And he shows his class to go just ahead. The chip-in graphic basically being the difference. Seconds in it as we move on to hole 3. Very close still. Both of them successfully getting the shortcut. And Emoad just short of the green. Tyler landing on the green. The driver chip from Emoad is good. Of course it is. And he gets a 133 beginner. Tyler with a 137. Emoad with a slender lead. Emoad getting no wind on 4. This could be big. Doesn't get the hole in 1 though, which I thought he might go for. Instead, just landing shy, missing the putt. Both of them actually having a pretty suboptimal 4. Both of them getting pars. And again, pretty much nothing in it. Obviously, Tyler's a little bit behind on the call, but he's also started just a second later, not perfectly synced. Here we go then. Hole number 5. Both of them using the disconnect strategy. If you've watched up to this point, you're probably familiar with it by now. And, well, that is simply stunning from Emoad. And now he's taken a stroke lead, which translates into a major time lead. Tyler does sink it though, and the pressure will be on Emoad here, as he is on hole 6. And a pretty perfect one. Tyler with the disconnect, and that is good. But, well, he'll just have to hope Emoad makes a mistake, and he has missed the putt here. Can Emoad throw this one away? I doubt it. Well, on to hole 7. Tyler taking time to readjust. It's important to stay calm, and even though it might sound mad, not rush yourself. You want to go fast in this, but you also want to get it right, because if you mess up a shot substantially, it'll waste more time than the extra half a second you spend adjusting. But look at that. EmoadNomad's on the green in 8, and Tyler's on the green in 7. And this is early signs. The word around the community was that it was likely that we'd get a new name on the trophy, and EmoadNomad is showing his dominance. Tyler going into 8, EmoadNomad going into 9. Nearly a whole hole. Maybe I should say nearly an entire hole between them. EmoadNomad doing disconnect, and really, Tyler, it's not going right for him. Not hitting the greens. Well, it is a marathon, not a sprint. But with a time of 4:36 exactly. In fact, Tyler took 8 holes in 4:36. So a lead of exactly 1 hole. And EmoadNomad goes into the lead. Tyler will, I think, continue. We've got a bit of lag on his stream. But if it's going to happen at any time, it should happen at this one where it doesn't matter. And he certainly has the right. And EmoadNomad changing his meat. Why not have a little bit of fun with it? A man that stays calm under pressure and perhaps has a little fun, making sure to do the A and B as well. And that's what perhaps is why he's so good at this. Because he's not letting the pressure get into him. He's not taking it too seriously. He's just playing golf. And he wins by a time of, well, about 45 seconds. And Tyler knows he can do better than that. 5:21 isn't good. But anyway, I just confirmed that the players can hear me. EmoadNomad, are you there?
I'm good.
And Tyler? Presume you can. Okay, so I'll count you in on go. 3, 2, 1, go. And again, just stream delay again. Tyler a couple of seconds before. Obviously, there we go. The stream is should be good now. Just syncs it up better. EmoadNomad hitting the sand in 1. Got out of it though, but that's not the ideal start, and maybe this could be Tyler's opportunity. He's on the green in 2, and he's built up this lead for himself, but he has to pretty much make no mistakes if he intends to keep it. Birdie for EmoadNomad. Sorry, birdie for Tyler, par for EmoadNomad. So a stroke ahead as he does the driver strap on 2. And as expected, hits the sand. EmoadNomad puts a little bit more welly on it, but of course using a different club and doing disconnect. And Tyler's driver chip fails. And we are back level once again. In fact, EmoadNomad has the second advantage. In terms of strokes, we are level. Remember that stroke is not used. It is based on time, but of course, in general, the more shots you take, the longer it will take. EmoadNomad goes for shortcut with adverse conditions. Tyler does not go with a shortcut. And EmoadNomad switches to the right. Sorry, robust to the right. Overshoots the green. So again, suboptimal, but Tyler, it hasn't gone perfectly for him. Of course, the driver chip for EmoadNomad, so it works pretty well. Tyler goes for the long pass, it doesn't work. And yeah, Tyler's played well up to this point, even had a lead going into 2, but despite this, he's still behind after making pretty minor mistakes. Going into hole 4, Tyler goes for the sand, EmoadNomad on the green. This driver chip is crucial. Well, it could have gone a lot worse, but that is not ideal. Hole 5. And the amount of holes, EmoadNomad is pretty much played 13 holes optimally so far. He just plays 23 more. We have a new champion, folks. And I don't think anything's going to stop him right now. But Tyler won't want to give up his title, and Emoad with an OB on 5, and that changes things. It's the curse of the commentator. He gets it on the second time, but with a chipping graphic as well, we are practically level as Tyler sinks a clutch long putt. Do not go anywhere, because this is going into hole 6 with the players practically level. Well, this is what we wanted to see, a really close game between two of the finest players. But Emoad showing his skills with a clutch disconnect, and for Tyler, it's not going right.
Nice shot.
And after this, hole 6, pretty much a disaster, but we've seen things go wrong now for Emoad. The first hiccup in what has practically been a flawless path. He's only lost one game in the way to the finals, and if Tyler's hole 6 was better, he could have been punished on a rarity. So you're seeing even Emoad doesn't play perfectly. But it looks like it will be a 2-0 lead as Tyler overshoots on 7 and Emoad just has to sink it on 8. This has been a monstrous performance by Emoad. Tyler, well, he's playing well still, but it's just impossible, it will feel, when somebody gives you this little leeway. And he's going on to hole 9. And keeping focus and morale high will be important for Tyler now, because he still can win this as long as he doesn't just lose faith in his abilities. But Emoad with the long putt, and it's a 434. He's just so good right now. I can see he's gone on deafened. Perhaps taunting his opponent by using all that spare time he has to pick a different me. Who will he go for next? Well, shouting out River there, a classy touch. Making muse of fellow members of this tournament, fellow members of the community, and showing them off. See JP44 there. And of course, Cedric, who's done a lot of work for this tournament. And very proud of our community. Tyler comes in with a 5-11. I'll just wait. And Emoad showing some respect there by using Tyler's me. That's a nice touch. I won't ask the players to talk again. Can you just press home menu and then go off it to signify you're ready, and I'll count you in. Okay, yeah, thanks Tyler. I think Emoad's, just let him pick a me. There we go. Okay, so round 3 is about to begin. In 3, 2, 1, go. And, well, Tyler's been knocked down twice, but the TKO hasn't come in yet. Let's put a little more juice on it going into 1, and we are pretty much perfectly synced. The wind isn't helpful, and Tyler snags the rough, but shouldn't be a problem on 1 of the more forgiving holes. And different strategies you can see. Emoad has preferred the driver chip, Tyler preferred the putt, and well, they are level, completely level. This 8 holes to decide this game. And both of them hit the sand, and Emoad misses the driver chip. And I think, yes, it's not gone out of bounds. He's landed on the rough. Tyler sinks it. And, well, his lead will be in the double digits in terms of seconds. I think it's, 16 seconds, because Tyler went in on 59. I think actually a bit less, but going into hole 3, Emoad has catching up to do. This is a new situation for him to play from behind And he's gone OB in hole 3. And perhaps, well, I said, he's been robotic so far. But when the errors start to seep in, they start to build. OB again. And Tyler can surely now take this. Going into hole 4. And well, Emoad will have a over 2 minute, a super 2 minute, the opposite of sub if I want to use the official terminology. Beginner. Tyler's missed a putt there, which isn't great, but he will be 1 hole ahead. Emoad does sink that chip in 3, whereas Tyler sinks it in 4. So, Emoad going on to hole 4, Tyler onto hole 5. 1 par 3 hole separates our 2 warriors. And Emoad again going for the driver chip strat, and that error hasn't put him off doing it. Oh no, I tell a lie. And it'll be a par on 3 for Emoad as Tyler carries on.
Nice par.
Will just have to make his putt on 5 as Emoad begins 5. So a little bit less than a hole, but of course hole 5 is a little bit longer than hole 6. Hole 4. Tyler now on to hole 6, and Emoad's really good hole 5 there. He knows Tyler will be feeling the pressure, or at least he'll be hoping so. And Tyler going for the putt, the less risky option, and the correct option. Birdie, 324 out of intermediate. If Tyler plays flawlessly here, there is nothing Emoad can do. But with holes 8 and 9 still to come, as well as the shortcut on 7, that's easier said than done. But that is a good start. Hole 7, tee shot pretty much perfect, as Emoad sinks hole 5. And he gets the risky driver chip. That is nerves of steel. Emoad just finished hole 6, so moving on to hole 7. So, 2 more holes for Tyler to go, but they're the 2 where the most can go wrong. Red bar swings right. What a shot from Tyler. Well, what a response to that disastrous game 2. Emoad gets the putt on 7. Tyler gets the putt on 8. So, Tyler proving that he's the champion and he's not letting that go quickly. Hole 9. All he needs to do is get a relatively good hole 9 to take round 3. Emoad will sink the putt. And hole 8 is done. So both of them are on hole 9. But Tyler found his way on the fairway, not taking the risky strat. But it doesn't matter. A 3-foot putt is all that's needed for Tyler to take game 3. Wow. For just the second time in this championship, Emoad suffers a lost round. You can tell the time was slower, but Tyler took advantage. 5:04. Emoad won't want to make that mistake again. So, 2-1. We go on. I'll ask the players to do the same. Just go on to home and go off home when they are ready. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Well, I'm sure I don't want to be biased. They're both fantastic players, but as a neutral commentator who loves sharing Wii Sports golf and the whole Wii Sports Wii Series speedrunning scene with people, we want as much of this as possible. So for it to go on for another game and be close is brilliant. Well, Tyler getting himself out of a little hole on hole 1, and hopefully getting into the hole with this stroke. Emoad again going over the green. He does love a driver chip. Ooh, but it's missed. Hitting the flag, but he does have to tap it in for a par. So again, Tyler has a lead. But there's still 8 holes between him and parity with his compatriot. Emoad going for disconnect. And he's messed it up, to be frank with you. Going over to the rough. And again, Tyler has a lead. A chip from EmoadNomad.
Nice on.
And good putt.
Nice
But
par.
Tyler, on hole 3, didn't take the shortcut. He will be happy with the way he's playing and thinking he has a chance. Misses the flag there. Will he go for the chip or the putt? He'll go for the long putt and sink it. And that's what he's been doing all day. Emad preferring driver chips, Tyler preferring putts. Different strategies, different styles of play. But two people who are in the absolute elite category here. EmoadNomad with a long putt, but he can't sink it on 3. Tyler with a long putt, and he can sink it on 4. The ebbing and flowing of this one has led to an absolutely brilliant matchup. So, a whole advantage for Tyler. He starts 5, EmoadNomad starts 4. And EmoadNomad getting it onto the green. Tyler hitting the drink. No disconnect for him. I don't know what happened. He'll try it this time. Well, that is a time loss. And that is a way back into the game for our number 1 seed. And Tyler had a practice swing. The nerves are hitting now. But he still has a significant advantage over his rival. As you can see, EmoadNomad just taking his tee shot on 5 there. Tyler getting it in the hole. But that is why EmoadNomad is the top seed, because he's got himself back into the game. A lead in double digits has gone down to what, 5 seconds, maybe 7 or 8. It's still significant though. As we go on to hole 6, Tyler has a putt to make. Tyler makes the putt. It's been the story of the day, and it's been the reason why he's been able to compete with EmoadNomad, who seemed so unbeatable throughout this tournament. EmoadNomad, though, making his putt in 6 there. Does Tyler get the shortcut in 7? He does. It's not ideal, but it's good enough. But it gives a hole, an opening for EmoadNomad if he can do a really good 7. That's a nice approach shot, though. And EmoadNomad hits the out of bounds. Well, a huge story developing here, because this game is now with all of the momentum with Tyler, and it could be equal. EmoadNomad again overhits it into the out of bounds. The pressure is starting to grow on him. He's been so good throughout the tournament, but against the defending champion in the grand final, things seem to be unravelling. And once again, hole 7 is his downfall. A triple bogey as Tyler finishes hole 8. Well, hole 9, it's known as the Bermuda Triangle to some, because so many disasters can happen there. But surely nothing can go this wrong for Tyler. EmoadNomad's just finished hole 8, a very good hole 8. He's not giving Tyler anything more. But Tyler is on the finishing island, makes the approach shot, and he doesn't have to be too risky. EmoadNomad has just taken his tee shot. Disconnect strategy is used. Into the river, but it's over. It's 2-all. Well, this is exhilarating stuff. I'm trying to keep my calm and failing miserably. 457 for Tyler, but EmoadNomad 511. So, once again, game number 5, or round number 5, I should say. I'll ask you to do the home menu thing. To just prove your readiness, and you can hear me. Lovely. So, I'll count you in 3, 2, 1, go. And, well, this is crucial stuff. Just seeing everything. Wipeout Jack. Holy goodness, my gracious. Shout out to him, because he's done a lot of work as well. As we go on to round number 5 of this match. And everyone breathe. Hole 1. Hole of calm.
On.
Both of them taking 2 shots to reach the green. And both of them will take 1 putt. If there is a lead here, it's for EmoadNomad, but it's negligible. The times are pretty much synced, to be fair, less than half a second, which is the optimal viewing experience, I think we'll all agree. EmoadNomad gets the disconnect on 2. Tyler, not needing to bother, but that is a good putt from EmoadNomad. And Tyler gets the driver chip tap in, which is a time loss. The pendulum swings once again, this time in the favour of EmoadNomad. Remember, and EmoadNomad taking the middle strategy on 3. By the way, Tyler not taking shortcut at all. But remember, Tyler will need to win this best of 7 to force it to a final round. EmoadNomad, coming from winner's bracket, just needs 2 more wins to be the champion of 9-hole golf. But EmoadNomad has missed the driver chip completely. Tyler's 3 hasn't been great, but that has pretty much put Tyler back in the game. A lovely approach shot there. EmoadNomad this time electing not to go for the driver chip. An error in judgment by EmoadNomad then. As I said, he's been robotic so far, demolishing the number 2 seed, Garrett, 3-0. Almost like a robot. No emotions, just crush opponents, but now they're starting to come. The title of world champion could just be 15 holes away. He's starting to realise that. And it might affect him as he misses a putt and Tyler takes the lead. Well, I think everybody expected EmoadNomad to be the winner, but Tyler is shocking the world. So on to 5, Tyler ahead by 1 stroke, but that's a really good disconnect for EmoadNomad. EmoadNomad's been consistently good with that hole 5, and it keeps the pressure on Tyler. He's just saying, make a single mistake and you will be handing this game to me. So on hole 6, the 1-stroke lead, and Tyler not with the ideal second shot. He's going to have to take another one to approach. The driver chip not an option, and that equalises things. The 1-stroke lead for Tyler disappears as we go on to expert, and in fact EmoadNomad has a short lead. But 7 is where things have gone wrong for EmoadNomad.
Nice shot.
Well, it's into the bunker on shot 1, as it is for EmoadNomad, and no driver chip option. Perhaps he's been scarred, but none for Tyler either. Both of them have given themselves tricky but doable putts at this level. EmoadNomad takes his first, and Tyler does his as well. So, a couple of seconds advantage for EmoadNomad, and we still have to go into the Bermuda Triangle of hole 9. But a couple seconds is all it takes, and it looks like it's gone well for neither player here. Chaos on hole 8, but I think Tyler is going to come out of it the better player. He is. So, we're 3 seconds in, but hole 9 is a choking hazard. Tyler, well, you think of great sporting comebacks over the years, but this might be one of the biggest shocks in history. EmoadNomad hitting the rock on hole 9, but that won't faze him. And again, he seems the superior player. He does the driver chip, and that is clutch. Tyler does fall on hole 9. It's disappointment, and EmoadNomad flexes his muscles. A 12.5-second victory, and Tyler, well, that's got to be gutting, but he can't let him affect him. for what could be the final time, or it could happen 9 more times. I'm going to ask you to do the home menu thing. You need an official name for it. Thank you, both players. I'll count you in. 3, 2, 1, go. Synced perfectly again. How do we do it? You won't find a broadcasting team better than what we have. So, tee shot. And it's even. Tyler actually a little bit ahead because the ball rolled a bit for Emoad.
Nice arm.
And Tyler ahead because his approach shot was better. Emoad with the long putt, he sinks it, but it just took a little bit more time. Now, this lead probably not what will decide it, but it gives Tyler a boost into hole 2. And the driver chip from Tyler, that's what he needed, because Emoad had a better approach shot, but Tyler retains his advantage. And he gets no wind on 3. Wow. Is the goddess of victory smiling on Tyler today? Because that's exactly what you want. Emoad takes the shortcut without issue, though. It's a good shot from Tyler. But just short of the green, perhaps that's what he wanted, to do the driver chip. Nope, he's going for the long putt. Emoad's in the same situation. He prefers the driver chip. Different strategies, but the same results. An eagle and onto hole 4, pretty much neck and neck. 141 beginner for both players. It will be intermediate and perhaps experts that will decide. But Emoad's 6 holes away now, if he can win from being champion of the world. Tyler, with a brilliant birdie, and Emoad's shot circles the hole. So tantalisingly close, but not enough. Tyler with a stroke advantage then, going into 5, but 5 has proved a success for Emoad thus far. But it's been a success for Tyler here, so Emoad will be on damage limitation. I speak too soon. Tyler's missed an easy part. It was bound to happen eventually. It's happened here. And with a bit of teething problems, his lead isn't as big as it had hoped. It could have been about 12 seconds. Instead, it's a third of that. But he still is ahead, and that's what matters the most. On to hole 6 then.
Nice approach.
And wow, that's brilliant. Disconnect from Emoad.
Good birdie.
And a birdie. Tyler, a bit slower, but also a birdie. So, again, the pendulum has swung in favour of the blue corner. Emoad with a good shortcut on 7. Will he get the driver chip? No. Again, declaring it too risky, but oh, well, that is brilliant. Could that be the shot that crowns the new world champion today? It very well might just be, because we've seen a lot of driver chips, but now a wedge chip, and they are much harder. Tyler has just finished 7. Emoad's on the green on 8, but it's a tricky putt. Does he have the nerves to sink it? He does, and he is 1 hole away now. Hole 9. If he can navigate the Bermuda Triangle, the choking hazard, then he will be world champion. Tyler battling for his life and a title which he's held since 2018. But is there anything he can do? Emoad, 8 feet away to sink it. EmoadNomad is the champion of the world. 422.48. And what a way to do it. A brilliant chip on 7 and long putts on 8 and 9. A man truly worthy of the title. And Tyler will get a sub 5 on 9, and that's the least he deserved. Somebody that has only lost one game in the entire championship up to now. Tyler took 2 off him, but it wasn't enough. So, I'd like the whole chat to give an award. Now, before we do anything formal, I'd like to catch a word with our players. And, well, it would be rude not to have start with Tyler, who's been a brilliant champion for 3 years. And, well, played excellently. And I'm sad to say he isn't the champion anymore, but you must be incredibly proud of your performance.
Yeah, that's way better than I expected.
Well, I see there was a difference in strategy for the 2 players, and I'll talk to EmoadNomad about it later. But you seem to prefer going for putts, long putts, whereas EmoadNomad preferred to drive a chip. Why do you think that was?
If you make a mistake when you go for a driver chip, you lose like maybe 20 seconds, like he did on 2.
Yeah.
The worst case scenario with the putt is I lose 5.
Yeah. So you're not the world champion anymore. But you're still a legend of this category and this community. I'll just give the floor is yours to say anything you want to say.
He got a 422 and my PB was a 421 in that last round, so I don't think I really could have. I don't know if I could have beaten him. I would have had to PB.
Yeah, wow. Kind words from Tyler about the man who has vanquished him. And now we talk to our new world champion, EmoadNomad. How does that feel?
I'm so elated right now. Like, I didn't expect to like get this far. Like, I thought like I don't know. I thought Garrett was probably gonna knock me out, but I'm surprised of my performance. Like, I don't know if that's the best tourney time, because I know Garrett also had a 4-2x, but I just want to say thanks to everyone, and I want to give a congrats to Tyler for actually making it back into the grand finals. And that's pretty much it.
Now the question that's on everyone's lips, I'm sure, your mascot in the bottom right corner, that probably the lucky charm that has got you victory. Who's that?
That's my cat, Rudy. He's been my cat since I was 4 years old, so he's really special to me. Like, he's gonna turn 13 soon.
So. Well, sharing this victory with him, I'll talk in terms of strategy for a second. So I asked the same question to Tyler, but the other way around. Yes. He preferred the long putts, you preferred the driver chips. It was a strategy that nearly bit you in the end, but you kept your nerve and stuck with it. What chose you to go with that strategy?
Well, because I wanted to maintain my lead, because I knew if I don't go for a driver chip and go for a putt, like Tyler said, yeah, it loses me 20 seconds, but I want the risk. Because it gives... I don't know how to put this, but like it gives the match like more of I don't know, rewatch, basically. Like I don't really know how to put it, but I like going for risks, which is, I mean, yeah, I missed a few of them. For example, like on Tyler's second win on hole 8, is I was behind and I really needed it to pull me back ahead, but you know, you win some, you lose some.
So you've got the first sub 4 in golf. You're the champion in all 5 categories, and now the tournament. Where does it go from here?
Where does it go from here? Well, I've said this many times. I wanna beat my time in 9-hole. I don't think it's good, but I'm probably going to be retiring at the end of this year from golf for good. I know Tyler's going for expert record, but I've had my own legacy in each of the 5 categories, and I think ending off with a new 9-hole record is probably the best way to go. So that's it for
Well,
me.
we'd be sad to see you go, but your achievements will stand the test of time for years to come because that time is hard to beat. Now, I think, seeing as we have two Canadian players, and because this is a World Championship final, it's only appropriate to play the national anthem, but I'm not in charge of the stream, so I'm going to send the link to Jack and see if he can organise that. And I think that's the perfect way to end this whole tournament. The history of the tournament, both times won by Canadian players, two Canadian players in the final. So we're going to try and make that the way to end. So I'll send you the link, and hopefully you can play it. I think you can add it on Media Source or something. I'll see it. Yeah, Media Source, and you can play the file. But while we wait for that to be sorted out, we'll just shout out some people in the community. Jack and Cedric, who were the hosters, and Dragons as well. All of the people that contested, there were 17 in all, and all of the commentators, and the entire community. We have double digits watching this, which for a game that is a tech demo, apparently. It's so impressive. And remember, it will all be able to be watched on the Resort Fest YouTube channel, and also on Twitch. And if you're watching on YouTube, hello. The Discord link will be in the description, and I'd love you to join this community. Jack, are you ready with the anthem? Hopefully you can... Oh, it's fine, okay. Okay, well, well, I was talking over it. I think. Wait, count it in. I think, or maybe it was good. Maybe it was good for me to talk over it.
Are we off or still live?
Okay, I can echo. Okay. It sounded good. Okay, there we go. Then we've had a brilliant time. 2 months, and that is it. So, from me and HBW50, I've really enjoyed commentating this. I did it for the first time in the last minute and really done. Thank you for everyone in the community, and goodbye.